there. I'm Tish.
I'm Lily.
And together we are
Haunted Housewives.
We're back!
Yay!
So, if you're seeing this now, it's probably a little late for you to visit anything in the 2024 haunt season, but you can bookmark this, revisit.
It will still be valid.
It will still be there. But we wanted to each give you 2 reasons to visit
FREDDY'S Haunts
in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. One of the things you need to know before you go to FREDDY'S Haunts is that it's actually closer to Pittsburgh than many of the destinations that we visit. It's,
30 minutes?
30 minutes outside of the city.
Yeah,
It does not feel 30 minutes outside of the city.
We feel like we're hours away.
It feels remote and creepy. You're off in, Jeepers Creepers wrong turn land, but it's honestly, it's a half hour outside the city.
Yeah.
But we each have 2 reasons, and these reasons are still going to be valid.
Yes.
Also, they're going to be valid because FREDDY'S does off-season events.
They do.
Including blackout events, which are... Lily will get to this. Lily will explain to you why a blackout event at FREDDY'S is mind-blowingly nuts. But, for now, we have 2 reasons why you should visit, and keep an eye on their webpage, their Facebook.
They do different off-season. You never know.
Yeah.
Follow them and keep an eye out for their posts.
And it's worth it. So do you want to kick us off?
Definitely worth it. I'm sure.
Go for it.
If you...
Surprise!
I know. Woohoo! Jen, go! No, Lily. Sorry. Shh, you didn't hear that. So, one of the reasons that you should go to FREDDY'S would be if you like underground tunnels, because this place is a maze of underground tunnels, and they're not all the same. The tunnels change as you're walking through. Some have corn stalks on the side.
Some of them are industrial. There's corrugated pipes overhead.
Yeah, you definitely feel like I don't know. I mean, how did they get there? Did they build this haunt over all of these underground tunnels? Because
it feels
that's what it feels like. It feels like abandoned underground tunnels. You know how you watch movies and they're like, oh my gosh, they found this abandoned underground tunnel. That's what this is.
This is like, okay, here we go. If we're
movies?
Did you say movies? Okay, so if you want to get a sense of what it feels like to walk through FREDDY'S, it's like a combination of The Descent, which is...
I'm looking at you like I never saw that.
I'm gonna hit you. Stupid female friends who decide to go spelunking on a weekend.
Yeah,
we're not.
No,
we're not athletic enough to do that, but we are athletic enough to go to FREDDY'S.
Decisions like that.
It's like a combination of The Descent and maybe like Ganjam Asylum. There's this combination of like underground tunnel and urban exploration.
Yes.
When you get to FREDDY'S, it's
like,
this huge building. It's a big ass building.
Yeah.
But they describe it as an indoor trail because they have made this environment feel like a friggin' cave. Like you are walking through this cave.
Yep. Keeps going.
It goes on forever. It's confined. It's claustrophobic sometimes.
Yes. Yep. And it changes.
It changes.
There's different.
At one point, you're in like a castle dungeon. There's a really good redneck cabin environment.
Oh yeah. It's very it definitely, they did a great job. It's not actually a real tunnel because I feel like it is. It's not perfectly. It's definitely curved, like an underground tunnel would be, like a cave. The walls are not smooth; they're rough. Ask me how I know. It's
She carries a little piece of Freddy's with her wherever she goes.
No, Freddy's has my DNA in it. And it just feels so real.
Yeah.
And like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, we ask ourselves that every single time.
That's true.
What are we doing? Well, what we're doing here, my number one reason to go to Freddy's Haunts is the old school haunt vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people see the name Freddy's Haunts and they assume this has something to do with Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. It doesn't. It does not. But it has this 80s DIY feel to it. There are areas where they've sprayed the walls with like Day-Glo paint.
Yeah.
It feels
cool.
very old school, and you know we remember
like
1980s
90s,
haunts. Yeah,
1980s, 90s. Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like I want to put my hat on sideways and start rapping Will Smith style.
and my leg warmers on. But it has the vibe of a genuinely, practical effects, homemade, fun haunt.
So fun.
And it carries through, I would say,
energy.
Yeah, it carries through in the energy, the performances. You have a bunch of actors who are just having so much fun terrifying you, and they will follow you around.
Now, they do have quite a few polished actors.
They do.
In that haunt.
They do. While the haunt itself proudly wears its DIY 80s feel on its sleeve, there's a place where you're walking through sort of chicken wire cages that are stuffed with skeletons, and the actors here have really thought about their characters. There were some astonishingly good clowns there this year.
Yes.
Very persistent, in your face. It's not a touch haunt.
No.
But it is a we will get really close to you haunt. There is this sort of mad scientist creepy character with a taser who
relentless
pops up in a maze. There's a brand new character named Zips who was chasing people around outside of the haunt in the yard.
So funny. I got a video of that, and you can hear people saying, "Oh my God, what was that?"
That pretty much boils down to Freddy's experience in a single phrase.
True.
Oh my God,
what was that?
But if you want a place that taps into sort of 80s, 90s nostalgia, looks and feels energetic in that way, Freddy's Haunts.
Yes.
What's reason number 2, Lily?
Reason number 2. They also have confusing mazes. I'm not saying you're going to get stuck for an hour.
Like some of us.
Like some of us do.
And
but it's they're really good at making it confusing, making you go around in circles, kind of. There's spots where, like, maybe the entrance or the exit, you don't really know where that is, and you're a little bit kind of like, I don't know where to go, and everything is dark, and you keep trying. I keep trying. Well, I've already run from you at that point.
Yes, this is true.
I tend to be alone in the area where the mazes starts. The last few times I've been like by myself trying to figure out where to go.
So to explain to you how confusing, there are multiple mazes at Freddy's, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a smaller maze that turns turns back on itself, and then there's this huge maze that's sort of black painted plywood walls and loud music and lights. Huge. But when you enter Freddy's Haunts, you enter in a group of about 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And that might sound like a lot of people to you. trust me, you will get separated. If you don't get separated before you hit the first maze, the first maze weeds out the adults from the children because you will end up with a totally different group of people or completely by yourself.
People will start to follow you, like you follow them. We're all in this together.
Oh my Lord. We both lived through productions of High School Musical. We both lived through this, so do not ask us to do the choreography because we will do it.
We will.
No, it's super confusing, but if you like mazes, these
it's fun.
Are great mazes, and you'll make new friends.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to.
We've made so many friends in that maze.
On purpose, by accident. Yeah. So, tunnels, mazes, old school vibes. I would say one reason you need to check out Freddy's is they are changing stuff up. They have done completely different things with their entrance. They've lengthened the trail. It's a different experience. If you've been there before, there's all new stuff to check out. And the entrance is in a different place. They built a new stage. They have live bands during the season. They have a DJ.
Yep.
They had vendors there this year with really cool stuff.
They did.
I spent too much money. Sorry, Gomez. But I spent a lot of money at the vendors that came there, and they have
such cute stuff.
They have concession stands. They have candy.
Giant bonfire.
The bonfire itself is a spectacle. But this is one of these places that, because they're a Pittsburgh area tradition, people know Freddy's. Right. It's consistently scary, playful, fun. You know you're going to have a good time there. They could just coast on it, but they have really changed stuff up. Yeah. And again, their actors are relentless. They will follow you around. They will follow you out of the building. They also occasionally will get guest actors from other haunted attractions that are primarily outside. Shout out Nightmare at Stagecoach Hollow. Yes. They'll bring their actors in and just add to the intensity of the experience.
Yes.
It's a really fun place and nostalgic in a way that really reminds me of being a teenager. It really does. It really makes me feel like I'm hanging out with my friends and going to the haunted house on Saturday night. And they cultivate that kind of high energy 80s 90s party vibe. And the yard is nuts too, because they always have a bunch of actors out in the yard. Yeah. While you're trying to enjoy your perfectly lovely meatball sandwich by the giant ass bonfire. No, that's not going to happen. Because somebody is going to go chasing you across the yard. Lily has tried to hide behind trees.
Many things.
I've
almost fallen off benches. It's a problem.
Yeah. But it's a good time.
It is.
And if you want something, an environment that really truly is like nothing else out there, if you want the sensation of walking through a cave that has been spray painted with Day-Glo paint, and you're being chased by a mad scientist with a taser and a clown, maybe, and it's very narrow, and all of a sudden there's a maze with rock music playing. Yeah. That's Freddy's.
Yep, go to Freddy's.
Fun time. Look for their off-season haunts, and we'll probably see you in the maze there.
Yeah. Yes. Come visit us in the maze.
We'll be stuck there.
Yeah. Show us the way out.
So, we will be back with more reasons to visit more haunted attractions.
Bye.